Mayong gabi mga pinalangga kong tigpaminaw sa paglantaw sa kagabhion. A time for reflection. Streaming live via Facebook worldwide. Kini inyong higala, igsoon o alagad. Jeremias Labaho Tubigon, joining you for deep thought, honest conversation, and values-based dialogue. This evening, we will be discussing about From Blood to Balance, a reflection on the drug war of Duterte and Marcos Jr. Pero sa dili pa nato sugdan mga igsoon, ato sang i-shout out ang ato ang mga likers sa ato ang live atong niaging gabi. Kay gabi wala ta naka-live kay na busy kining yung igsoon. Halidi man unta pero dito magugko sa RM sa Ramon Magsaysay. So pag abot na ko gikapoy nakaayon yung higala. Wala na po nakahigayon o pahigayon sa ato ang panglantaw sa kagabi. So this evening balik ta sa ato ang panglantaw sa kagabi. Ito sang i-shout out si Bernadette Tanduyan, ato ang viewer diha sa Seattle, United States of America. Si Lilian Martinez Tubigon o si Gina Lynn Martinez. Maayong gabi kaninyo diha, ma'am. Salamat kayo sa inyong pagsunod sa ato ang panglantaw sa kagabihan. Tonight, I invite you to sit back, open your hearts, and quiet your minds. Because tonight, we go deeper than headlines. We look beyond propaganda. We dig through the bloody past and cautious present. We ask the hard questions about the drug war in the Philippines under two leaders, two styles, and two visions. This is not about defending one name over the other. This is about truth, justice, and the soul of a nation. When Rodrigo Rua Duterte took the presidency in 2016, he brought with him the thunder of Davao. His image was built not in Congress, but in the slums, the streets, and the prison cells. His legacy, his war on drugs. He did not delay. Within weeks of taking office, dead bodies lined up across Metro Manila and beyond. Operation Tukhang, Tok-Tok ug Hangyo began. Police went to homes of alleged drug users or posers, asked them to surrender. Many did. Some did not live to try. Under Republic Act number 9165, the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002, the government is mandated to pursue law enforcement operations, but with due process, proper arrest, investigation, and prosecution. Yet, during Duterte's term, many operations bypassed this. The non-laban narrative was used repeatedly. Suspects allegedly resisted arrest and were shot dead. There were few trials, fewer convictions, and almost no big-time drug lord arrested. Unsaon nato pagsalig sa balaod kung ang bala nag-una kaysa husgado? The law says that suspects are innocent until proven guilty. This is guaranteed by Article 3, Section 14 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution, the Bill of Rights. But the law during those times seemed quiet, almost helpless. The international community took notice. Human Rights Watch, the United Nations, and the International Criminal Court, ICC, began to investigate. According to the Rome Statute, of which the Philippines was a party until 2019, crimes against humanity include murder, extermination, and other inhuman acts committed against civilian populations. In 2018, Duterte unilaterally withdrew the country from the ICC jurisdiction. He called it an insult to Philippine sovereignty, but legal scholars argued crimes committed while the country was still a member could still be investigated. Was the war on drugs a war against crime or a war against the poor? Jesus once said in Matthew chapter 25 verse 40, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. If we kill the poor without proof, do we not want the face of Christ? Ang kabos walay abogado. Ang kabos ilang silot ang kamatayon. Mao ba kini ang hustisya nga atong gipangandoy? Duterte believed that fear was the only way to clean the streets. But morality isn't measured by results alone. It is measured by how we treat people when no one is watching. The deaths may have scared dealers into hiding, but they also taught our youth that violence was acceptable when done in uniform. Yet God says in Romans chapter 12 verse 19, do not take revenge, my dear friends, but leave room for God's wrath, for it is written, it is mine to avenge, I will repay, says the Lord. Government must act justly, yes, but they must also be accountable. The law must not be used as a gun, but as a guide. And then came a change. Ferdinand Marcos Jr. ascended to power in 2022, bringing with him the heavy history of a family name and the cautious posture of a president learning from the scars left behind. He did not call it a war. He called it a campaign. He launched the BIDA program, Buhay Ingatan, Drugay Ayawan. A community-based preventive approach by or led by the DILG and LGUs. Instead of shock and awe, he learned to structure. Instead of killings, he promoted rehabilitation. Instead of secrecy, he began a campaign of public drug destruction, as seen when he led the burning of 9 billion worth of drugs in Capas, Tarlac. Dili kahadlok ang iyang gigamit, kundi proseso o pananglitan. This act, witnessed by the media and the public, stands in contrast to the hidden burnings or non-burnings during previous administration. Let us remember, the power of the presidency is not absolute. Under Republic Act 9165, there must be proper inquest proceedings, chain of custody of evidence, drug testing with due consent, due process before punishment. And under Republic Act 10591, Comprehensive Firearm Law, the use of force must be lawful and proportionate. Police must wear body cams. Warrants must be secured. Under Marcos Jr., these technical requirements are being reinforced, at least in policy and messaging. He has emphasized the need to uphold rule of law, cooperate with legal institutions, and promote local anti-drug council. But where were we, the church, during the bloodshed? Some Christians supported Duterte without question. Others were silent. But the gospel calls us to protect the sanctity of life. As Proverbs chapter 31 verse 8 to 9 tells us, speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves. Defend the rights of the poor and the needy. The war on drugs tested our faith, not only our laws. It tested if we would cheer for death or fight for life. And now, as we observe the new government trying to bring balance where blood once flowed, we are reminded justice must not only be done, it must be seen to be done. The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, or UNODC, encourages three prolonged approaches. Number one, law enforcement with human rights, rehabilitation and mental health support, community-based prevention and education. Marcos Jr.'s strategy aligns more with this global model. It doesn't mean it's perfect, but it shows that the Philippines is no longer walking the path of international shame. Let us support programs that do not just punish, but heal. As of 2025, the ICC still seeks to investigate killings under Duterte. The Marcos administration, while not aggressive in support, has not aggressively blocked it either. But the truth must be pursued, not for vengeance, but for closure, for justice, for the orphans and widows left behind. As we, the people, must never again allow the war on drugs to become a war on the people. Let us demand transparency in every anti-drug operation. Let us fund mental health services, rehab centers, and schools, not just jails and guns. Let us teach our children that dignity is more powerful than fear. In the end, this is not merely a comparison between Duterte and Marcos. This is a question of two paths. One paved with shortcuts, blood and bravado, and the other paved with policy, process, and public accountability. Which shall we choose as a nation? Ang bala makapahadlok, pero ang balaod nga gituman makapabag-o sa katilingban. Choose leaders who follow the law not who bend it. Choose programs that value life, not discard it. And choose to be vigilant, not passive. Micah chapter 6 verse 8, He has shown you, O man, what is good and what does the Lord require of you. To act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. May our leaders act justly. May our people love mercy. And may our nation walk humbly with God. Kini ang panglantaw sa kagabhion, din ang kahayag sa kamatuoran mo danag bisan pa sa kangitngit. Kini ang inyong higala, alagad ug igsuon, Jeremias Labaho Tubigon, sa makausap pamingon, sa atong pagpangandoy ug matarong nga kapilingban, ang kamatuoran gayud ang atong suga. Ug sa kangitngit sa kasaysayan, ang tinud-anay nga pamunuan, ang labing hayag nga paglaom. Daghang kayong salamat, shout out sa naa karon nagtan-aw nato, wala mo appear ang ngalan diri sa screen. Daghang kayong salamat sa inyong pagsunod ug pagtan-aw, paminaw ng ining ato ang programa panglantaw sa kagabhion. Ang Dios magapanalangin kanatong tanan, maayong gabi.